tall. Let your arms rest in your lap. Allow yourself to relax. I'm just saying before class, and I said it the other day, I think in class, sometimes doing nothing is really important. It is not a waste of time. So take a moment now and at the end of class to sit and do nothing. Just breathe. You begin to inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. As you breathe, allow your body to start to relax. Allow your mind to clear. And find that breath pattern, that inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Bringing yourself back to the breath at any time during class if you feel yourself kind of not being present, not being as connected to your mat and to your body and to the moment as you could be. Take a deep inhale, extending your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. If you'd like, you can set an intention for your class today, for your practice. And then open your eyes. Let's come on down to all fours, cow-cat. I'm hearing myself on the phone, and I don't know if the volume won't go all the way down. It's super distracting. Can I mute? It won't let me mute. Yay, technology. Okay. Come to all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So kind of like last week, I think we're going to do a little bit more of a traditional flow-ish kind of thing. So we'll start down here warming up, beginning with cow-cat. Inhaling as you tilt the pelvis down, head lifts, shoulders pull back. Exhale, always beginning with that low back, pulling the pelvis under, belly button in, arching up. Moving at your own pace, inhaling and exhaling. Exaggerating that movement, enjoying every moment. Every spinal column, every muscle, massaging on the inhale and on the exhale. And we'll do traditional cow-cat today, adding the arms and legs. So continue the spinal movement that you already have going. And whenever you're ready, we're going to add a leg. So as you inhale or exhale, you extend the leg on the inhale. You draw it in on the exhale. I started with right. You can start with whatever one you want. Inhale, extend it back. You continue that spinal movement. Exhale, drawing it in. And then if you'd like, add the opposite arm. If you're doing right leg, it's left arm. Everything goes out on the inhale. Everything pulls in on the exhale. So really articulating the spine. That's the focus. This time when we do it with a still spine, we're working more on abdominal toning. When we do it this way, we're working on spinal mobility. So they each have a purpose. Next time you inhale, extend. And then find a neutral spine. So when you come out to that extended, your back is going to be somewhat arched probably. See if you can flatten that out. Bring the leg down just to hip height, arm just to shoulder height. Push the heel away, trying to lengthen through that extended leg. When I see myself, sometimes I notice my leg's a little bent. Really flex the foot if it helps and push it away. Belly button in. And let's make little circles. Now, if you want to challenge yourself and do arm and leg at the same time, you can. Sometimes that's next to impossible. You can also do one and then pause whichever one you're circling and do the other. If you were doing both, you can try going the opposite direction. And then pause. Open them both out, leg out from the hip, arm out from the shoulder, and pull back in. Inhale out to the side, exhale, pull back in. Like you're pushing through wet cement, so you're not kicking or flinging your arm. You're really pressing it, trying to keep the leg at hip height, trying to keep the arm at shoulder height, which may or may not be possible. Back to center, and tap down. Lower arm and leg to the mat, and lift back up. Tap down, just to hip height and shoulder height. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, lift up, place that hand down, scorpion push-ups, elbows come down by the side as we dive down, forehead towards the mat, exhale, press back up. Diving down, just teetering like a seesaw. For 3, you don't have to go all the way to the mat. It's more important you keep those elbows really close to the body so you're working the triceps. Last time, press up. Curl the left toe under, coming up to a 3-legged plank. Make little circles with the leg from here. Pulling the belly button in, keeping the hips stable, reverse direction. Good. Press up to a 3-legged down dog. Bend the knee, drop that foot towards the other side, lifting the right knee up, stacking right hip on top of left. Extend the leg and bend it in. Extend and bend. For 3 and 2. Last one. Come back to center, leg extended high. We're going to hinge forward 3 times. Knee comes to chest, coming out over the hands, and kick back up. Second time, knee to chest, and kick back up. Third time, hinging forward. This time the leg plants down, or the foot plants down rather, coming to a long lunge, pushing back through that left heel. Deep inhale. Bend the back knee to the mat, and extend it back up. Bend it down for 4, for 3, for 2, last one, back to that runner's lunge. Step the right foot down, lower all the way down to the mat, chest, chin, hips to the mat. Release the legs, hands are right next to the shoulders, pressing up to baby cobra. Elbows stay down, shoulders stay back, elbows hugging the side. Holding and breathing, contracting the glutes to protect your low back. And push up and back. Sit back in child's pose for 1 breath only. And come back to hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Cow cat. Inhaling, really, as you inhale, that chest comes forward, shoulders pull back, gaze lifts just slightly. And as you exhale, you really press through that upper back. The movement starts in the base of the spine, but I feel like it's most sort of exaggerated. Where we really place our effort is in the top part of the spine. So you're doing your opposite leg this time, same thing we just did. So if you did the right leg before, do left. If you did left before, that's fine. Do right this time. Everything just happens with that same leg, so make sure that you're using the same one. And continue with your cow-cat movement. So that leg will probably, or it might lift above your hip when you go out into your cow, which is fine. Just don't kick it. You don't want to over-exaggerate that curve and hurt yourself. So just extend the legs, stretching through. And then if you want, adding that opposite arm. And remember, we're continuing that spinal movement. We're not balancing a glass today. That spine is super active. 3 and 2. Last one. Now find neutral, so the leg comes just to hip height, belly button pulls in. Now you're balancing a glass on your back. Get rid of that arch in the lower back, extending the right arm, and you're looking kind of out on the floor just in front of you. So it's not right down at your hands, but it's also not out at your fingertips. In the middle. And again, you can either make circles with either your arm or your leg, or try to do both at the same time. Working your mental muscle. And then either reverse that direction or switch and do it with the, whether you did the arm, do the leg. Wow, I cannot do the leg in the opposite direction. It just did not want to go. And talking. All right, extend out. Open that out to the side, leg out from hip, arm out from shoulder. Back to center. Press it out on the inhale. Press it back on the exhale. Trying to keep everything else stable. Now you are balancing that glass on your back. Back to center. And 2. Last one. Hi, Joelle. Back to center. Good. Lower down everything. Tap to the mat and lift up. Tap down. Lift up. For 5. And 4. 3. 2. Last one. Place the hand down, curl the toes under, pressing up to a 3-legged plank. And little circles. We didn't do pulses, we did circles. Circle that leg one direction. So it's a relatively small circle. It initiates from the hips, but that pencil on the end of your toe is only drawing a really small plate. Reverse direction. It's not giant, because I don't want your whole body moving around. And press up, 3-legged down dog. Lift that leg high. Bend the knee, drop it to the opposite side, lifting up through the knee, stacking the top hip on the bottom. Extend the leg and bend it back in. So again, this isn't a kick. It's an intentional stretch out and back in. For 3 and 2. Last one, pivot back to center, 3 hinges forward, coming out over the hands, and extend up. Hinge forward, kick up. Last time, kick up. This time plant the foot down, runner's lunge, pushing back through that back heel, lengthening the hamstring, and then bend the knee to the mat, and extend. And bend, and extend. For 3, and 2. The last one. Press that heel away. Step the left foot back. Chaturanga all the way down to the mat. Inhale, slide the hands out, coming up to Sphinx. So really make this an active Sphinx, so you're really stretching through the back. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears to open up the chest. Contracting the gluteal muscles. Drop the head to the chest. And lift up. Just gentle nods. Up and down. And back to center. Slowly release that down. And push yourself up and back. Coming onto your heels in child's pose. Good. Reach the hands forward. Curl the toes under. Push yourself up. Downward facing dog. Jogging through, bending one knee, bending the other, actively stretching one heel towards the floor, followed by the other. And press both heels towards the floor, roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Take a deep breath. Walk your hands back towards your feet. So you're at the back of your mat, letting your head hang down. Let your knees bend for a moment, release your spine, give yourself a shake and a twist if you want. Let the hips drop and then roll yourself up, restacking one vertebra at a time. Inhale, arms extend up, interlace the fingers to press up onto tiptoes, stretching all the way. I have totally chopped my head off. And lower down. Inhale, just bend to one side. As you exhale, up through center, over to the other side. And back to center, bring your arms down by your side. Okay, so stay at the back of your mat. I am just gonna tilt the screen up so I'm not decapitated for you all. Better, okay. So you're at the back of your mat. So we're gonna do some work today where we're gonna be stepping out into our lunging postures, our warriors and whatnot, which we don't always do. If that is, the idea is to do it with control, to not be falling like an elephant. So if you find that you're stepping really hard, modify so that you're not taking as big a step and just step out more gently. Because I don't want you to hurt yourself as you do this. So if you're struggling with the balance, you'll tend to land really hard, and we don't want that. All right. And your arms don't matter so much. You could have them at heart center if that's a nice stable position for you, but if they move around, I wouldn't worry about it. So taking a moment here in your Tadasana, belly in, gluteal muscles contracted, lifting up nice and tall, shoulders down and away. Find that alignment. It's going to help you if you focus on a point in front of you. Find that drishti point, something stable, a fish in a fishbowl, not a good drishti point. Where bricks intersect, or the corner of a picture frame, something like that. I'm going to start with my right leg. You can do whichever leg you want, but I'll cue right. Lifting it up, holding it up at hip height. So you're at a 90-degree bend here. Inhaling and exhaling. Can you extend the leg? If this is too much, go ahead and keep it bent. But if you can, see if you can extend that leg and hold it, minding that spot in front of you. We're going to step out to a high lunge. That right foot's going to step forward and come to high lunge. Back foot is, heel is lifted, everything's facing forward. Take a deep breath. If you'd like, extending those arms up, opening the chest out towards the ceiling, shoulders coming down and back, really pressing back through that back heel. Inhale and exhale. Adding the twist, you're going to twist to the right arm's going to shoot behind, left arm's going to shoot forward, but notice my torso is still tall. I'm not leaning over into this, nice and tall. Inhale, exhale. Allow the back arm to drop down, the front arm to come up, opening up into your exalted warrior. And coming back up into your twist. And cartwheel that down to the mat, coming to plank, holding plank for a moment. Inhale, exhale. All right, we're going to do something a little different today. Optional challenge for you. We're going to do one push-up each time we come to vinyasa before we do our chaturanga dandasana. So your option to do this from toes or from knees. Lowering down, inhale, exhale, press up, just one. Second time, you're going to go all the way and do either your cobra or your up dog. So lowering down, either all the way to the mat or to your chaturanga dandasana, and then up to your cobra or your up dog with hips lifted. Okay? Press back, downward facing dog. Separate those feet, max distance apart. Release the left hand, grab hold of the right ankle or calf, and give yourself a twist, looking up past the right armpit. Replace the hand, walk the feet back together, and then walk the hands back towards the feet, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Lifting the left leg up, coming to that balancing position, finding the focal point in front of you. I notice in myself, I will tend to lean backwards in this posture. So notice if you are leaning forward or back and see if you can find a neutral position. Inhale, exhale. Extend the leg. Can you keep it lifted? That is hard to do, so if your leg drops to here, don't worry about it. And then nice and lightly with grace, step that foot forward, coming to your high lunge. So you can be as deep in this as you want, just making sure knee is over ankle, not tracking out over toes. The most you come to is a 90-degree bend here. Inhale, extend those arms up, shoulders pull down and back, opening the chest towards the sky. Twisting towards that leg, left arm shoots back, front arm shoots forward, right arm shoots forward, I should say. Nice and tall through the torso. Exalted warrior, back arm drops down, front arm lifts up, breathing into the ribs. Pushing through the back heel, still trying to lengthen that hamstring. And then cartwheel back down to the mat, coming to your plank. Option to drop to knees or do one push-up from here and press back up, and then chaturanga all the way to the mat, or up into your up dog without going to the mat, press back, downward facing dog. Separating the feet, taking the right hand, grabbing the left calf or ankle, just don't tug on your knee here. Inhale, exhale. Replacing the hand, walk the feet back towards one another. Walk the hands back towards the feet, hanging over. Sliding the hands halfway up, pull that back. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, bring that right leg up once again. All right, I haven't tried this, so bear with me. We're going to come to warrior three here, a variation of warrior three. Right leg is going to push back behind us, and we're going to hinge forward. Keep pushing that heel away, trying to straighten the leg as much as possible. So now you're looking on the floor, probably out in front of you, pushing the right heel away to create some length. All right, so I want you to come to that same high lunge we did a moment ago. So you're going to swing that right leg through like a pendulum, and then plant it in front of you, come to high lunge. So it comes forward and plants. How'd we do? Inhale, extend the arms up, opening the chest. Open this to warrior two. So the back foot's going to plant. We're going to open up here, nice deep bend in the front knee. So the hips are opening away from each other. The gaze is still on that drishti point in front of us. You haven't lost it. Inhale, exhale. Holding and breathing. All right, we're going to come from this to reverse triangle, which means we're going to straighten our leg and back to this. So this is going to be a dynamic move. We're going to come up, and we're going to come back to our warriors. Front leg straightens, opening up through the right ribs, and back to warrior two. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last one, exhale, and inhale. Straighten the right leg again, coming to regular triangles. So we're going to hinge forward as much as we can, reaching that right arm forward. Let that right arm drop and just hang, or it can find a block. And then turn and look towards the extended left arm. Remember, I don't like you to put your hand on your shin here because you will tend to press on it. Make your abs do the work to support you. If you want to challenge your abs more, bring that right arm under your ear. Bring the left arm over your ear. And then really slowly, we're going to rise up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring the feet a bit closer together. They were actually probably too far apart if they were so spread apart for your triangle. Keep the heels turned out and come down into your goddess pose. So we're sitting back, pressing the hips back, knees over ankles, staying nice and lifted. You do some chest press here, so just squeeze the arms together and open back up. Squeeze and open. For 3, and 2. The last one. Can you drop a tiny bit lower? Little pulses here, just little teeny squeeze up and down. Good, press all the way up, pivot the feet forward, forward fold, releasing down. Taking a deep breath. Walk out over your right leg. So you're kind of in a side bend here. And then pivot both feet towards the front of the mat so the right foot is forward, left foot is back. If you need to bend your right knee here, that's fine. Otherwise, just hanging over, stretching through the hamstring. And then bend the right knee so you can step the right foot back, finding plank, 1 push-up. Inhale, exhale, and then chaturanga, up to your cobra or up dog. Exhale, back to your down dog. Inhale, exhale. And then walk the hands back to the feet. Forward fold, sliding halfway up, flat back lift. Release that down, come up into chair. So we sit down, hands come to heart center, chest is lifted, hips are pushing back, knees are over ankles. Option here to come up on the balls of your feet, challenging your balance. Can you drop a little bit lower? Can you pulse here without hurting your knees? This is your quads and your glutes doing the work, not your knees. Pause. If your heels are lifted, lower them. And press all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart. If you've lost it, find your focal point again. Raise the left leg up. Find the balance, use your breath here. Balance is so mental. Of course there's physical involved, but if your mind is elsewhere, I promise you won't be able to balance. You've got to bring your mind and your body together for this. Press back into that warrior 3 modification, pushing the left leg behind you, flexing that foot, trying to create length through that leg. Belly in, back in neutral. Holding steady. And then we're going to swing that leg through, stepping into our high lunge, planting that left foot down, high lunge. Are we all together? Inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, open up through that chest, pulling the shoulders down and back. Opening this to warrior 2, pivoting and planting the back foot. Front knee bends, arms extend. Hopefully you haven't lost the point. You're still focusing on it. Shoulders pull together. Notice your pelvic position in your warrior 2. Is your butt sticking out? Is your pelvis sticking forward? See if you can find neutral. And also with your torso, it's very common to lean into your warrior. See if you can keep your torso vertical. Shoulders over hips in the center line of your body. Same thing we did before, coming to your reverse warrior. As you exhale, coming back to your reverse triangle, I should say, coming back to warrior 2 as you inhale. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale to warrior 2. Don't worry so much about the back arm if it just drops down, if it comes behind your back, it doesn't matter. Top arm floats up and back down. 2 more times. Exhale and inhale. Last one. Warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Walk those feet back together a little bit if they've gotten really far apart. And then hinging forward, reaching, still looking at that focal point, reaching as much as you can. Let the left arm drop down. Right arm comes up, looking up at the ceiling, contracting your abs to support yourself. Triangle is very much an abdominal exercise. Breathing into this, keeping the chest open. The idea here is to not bend the torso. Your breath shouldn't be constricted here. You should be nice and open through the lungs, like someone's pulling you by the crown of your head, keeping you nice and lengthened. If you find you're twisted and contorted, you need to come up higher. Good, pressing yourself all the way up. I realize on my back too. I should probably turn around, but you're getting a different view, so we'll just keep it this way. Okay, pivot into our goddess. So toes come out and drop down into your goddess pose. So you want to sit back on your heels, knees over ankles, chest stays lifted. We're going to rise, bring everything up, and then pull back down. Stretch arms overhead, drop down into goddess. Exhale, you can exhale up or exhale down, it doesn't matter as long as you're breathing. 5 and 4, 3, 2, the last one, sitting in your goddess pose. Press up, pivot the feet forward, release down. Now I can see your faces. Take a breath. Walk out over your left leg or whatever one's at the top of your mat, opposite from what you did before. And then pivot those feet towards the front of the mat. Let your body hang over the front leg. Bending the knee if you need, otherwise you're getting a hamstring stretch. This is like a lazy pyramid. We're doing pyramid, but without worrying about our back and our hips so much. Bending the front knee, step the left foot back, plank. 1 push-up. And then chaturanga down to your cobra or your up dog. Pressing back to your down dog. And walk the hands back towards the feet, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, release. Coming up into chair again, sitting down and back. Arms extending. Chest lifting as much as possible. Still focusing on that point in front of you. And then forward fold. You're going to walk out to plank. So walk your hands out, finding plank. And now you're going to hold plank. Belly button in. So you can come down to forearms if you prefer. You can drop to knees if your hips are dropping. Breathing in, breathing out. Three more breaths. Keep the hips lifted. If they've dropped, you're just going to hurt your back, so press those hips up. Okay, challenge. Can you do 1 push-up from knees or toes is fine. And chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Press back to down dog. Right leg extends up, 3-legged down dog. Hinging forward, we're going to alternate sides, 2 and 2. So we're going to bring the right knee across to the left elbow and kick back up. To the right elbow and kick back up. Back to the left elbow, hinging forward and extend. Opening the hip to the left side and extend. One more time, to the right and extend. To the left and extend. This time swing the leg forward, plant it down, high lunge. We've been here before. We're going to do our glute work. So we're going to bend the back knee down towards the mat. Remember, what's really important is this is really easy to do, where that knee goes out over the toes. We don't want that. You want to come straight down and straight up, okay? You can add the arms if you like. I find it helpful. So the arms come down and we press back up. Bending the back knee. So don't even worry about the front knee. Bend the back knee, the front knee will go along for the ride. Focusing on the point in front of you, especially if you're wobbling. And 3, and 2, Last one. Good. Finding just your high lunge, pressing through the heel, arms extend up. Inhale and exhale. And release the hands to the mat, plank position, one push-up. Chaturanga, up dog or cobra, back to down dog. Extend the left leg high. Breath and movement, whether you inhale as you kick forward or inhale as you hinge forward or inhale as you kick back, doesn't matter. Just make sure you're inhaling and exhaling with the movement. Coming across the body, right left knee towards right elbow and back up. Right knee to left elbow and extend. If you inhale forward, you exhale up. Otherwise, it's the reverse. Last time, right elbow, left elbow. Left leg swings forward, plants down, rising up. I think this will be our last high lunge. Bending the back knee as we drop down, arms pull down, press up. Cactus arms and up. Make these arms active because you really are toning your back here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. High lunge, push back to that heel, arms extend, shoulders pull down. And release the hands to the mat, plank. One push-up, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, and exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, exhale. Pressing into the hands, pressing into the heels. Extend the right leg up, three-legged down dog. Hinge forward and hold out over your hands. So bringing your knee up to your chest. And then looks like there's a fire under you. Press up and away from it and back down. Press up for 4 and 3 and 2. Last one, coming to pigeon. So bring that right leg across, lower down to the mat. If this doesn't work for anyone, come onto your back into figure 4. So your left knee will be bent, right ankle will come across it. In pigeon, make sure you're not rolling and sitting on that right glute. You want to keep your hips square, facing forward. Leg extended behind, chest is lifted. And then if you want, releasing yourself down onto the mat, you can put your head on a block, on a pillow, on hands. You do not have to do this. You can sit up. Whatever is either more comfortable or gives you a deeper stretch. Take some deep breaths into this. Really focusing on the hip. Reconnect with your inhale and your exhale. Find that pace, that pattern. And when you're ready, press yourself up. Okay, option to work towards royal pigeon. So bend your back knee first. That might be enough. This is a challenging posture. So if that's good, just stay right there. If you want, you can start to reach the hand back, the left hand. And if it opens your chest a bit, don't worry. You can also keep the chest forward. Then if you want to deepen it, you just keep bending that knee, seeing how much you can bend it. The idea, the full version of this, is that this right hand grabs the toe. As you can see, I can't reach my toe. This is a modification. The right foot kind of acts like a kickstand to keep you supported. Equally working on the balance, you could do it this way, just a different variation of it. Or you could always keep that hand down. And release out of whichever version you're doing. Step the right foot back, coming to plank. And doing a push-up. I like this, doing push-ups before all the chaturangas. This might be a new thing. And lower all the way down, chaturanga dandasana. Up to cobra, up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. I'm sure you all feel exactly the same way. I can be slightly sadistic as a teacher. It's only out of love. That's why I build your strength. I want you to be healthy when you're 108 and we're all still doing yoga together. Extend your left leg up. Hinge forward and hold. Breathe here. Every posture, it's really important to breathe because every time your body's in a different shape, it's making your lungs work in a different way, and that's important. Lower down, press up away from that hot flame. Dip down and press up for 3 and 2. Last one. And bring that foot across, coming to pigeon. Stretching that back leg behind you. For those of you who read my blog, this week's episode edition was about how yoga is physical, but how unlike other physical practices, we get more than just the physical exercise in yoga. And I was going towards, you know, there is a spiritual aspect to yoga, but even without that, the breath work is something that's so important. It's really pretty specific to yoga and some of the other Eastern arts, as opposed to just your typical weightlifting or cardio class. I mean, breathing is very important in whatever exercise you do, but there tends to not be a focus on it. More in yoga, we focus on it. And then when you're pausing and breathing in these postures, the hope is that it is somewhat meditative, and instead of thinking about work or the kids or what you're having for dinner, the state of the world, hopefully in that moment, you're just focusing on you and your body. Your mind is clear, your body is relaxed, and you're in the moment. If you'd like, release this down to the mat, finding a place to rest your head. And then if you take it to something more spiritual, that's everyone's individual choice. Whether you're religious or not, whatever peace you find in that moment. And when you're ready, press yourself up, bending the back knee. And then choose your option. Do you want to grab just your right? Can you reach it with your right hand or foot? If you have a belt, you can also, if you can't quite reach it, just make a loop on your belt, hook it around your foot, and then you can hold the strap this way. I have an invisible strap, I'm like Wonder Woman. And if you want, bending it further, reaching for that toe. If some of you are more flexible than me. I think one day I'll get there. I haven't always been able to do this, so one day. And releasing out of that, step the foot back. Last push up, promise. And chaturanga, up dog or cobra. Press back, down dog. Heels to the mat. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, stick out your tongue, let it go, lion's breath. 2 more times, inhale. Last time. And release down to your knees, sit back on your heels. Let your arms stretch forward in child's pose. And bringing yourself up, swinging your legs out in front of you. Sitting up tall in staff position. So if you tend to slump here, this is where you want to elevate your glutes, sitting on a pillow or a block to lift yourself a little bit. That's going to lengthen your spine. Inhale, arms extend up, flex your feet, Exhale as you hinge forward. If your knees are more bent here, that's fine. And release down into this. So we've been moving quite a bit, so you can deepen the stretch a bit. You have options. You can take a strap and you can pull your body down with the strap. If you can reach your feet or your toes, you can grab hold that way. You can do it from your ankles and your calves. Sometimes it's just easier to use a strap for that. You just get a better pull. Really think as if you're really lifting and pulling out of this low spinal area. You're lengthening that forward, creating space between each and every vertebrae. In your mind's eye, picture what your spinal column looks like and imagine you're stretching that out between each vertebra. And then once you're over here, take some deep breaths. Again, notice your ribs expanding. Notice how this feels in your lungs. Try pausing. Once you inhale, see if you can hold it for just a beat. And then exhale, see if you can release more deeply into the stretch. And bring yourself up. Bend the knees. Extend the arms in front of you. Option to hold on to the thighs for support or extend the arms. You're starting with a lifted spine and then we're going to hinge back to the point where you're about to fall, but your spine is still in good form, so you're not slouching. If you're slouching, lift yourself up higher, okay? It's almost like my feet will sometimes want to lift off the mat, so keep the belly in, chest lifted. Turn the palms up and make little pulses up towards the ceiling. Still just breathing steadily. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, chin towards chest. Now your drishti point is lower, it's down here somewhere. Keeping it level with your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Arms lift up. Holding. I'm shaking. Are you shaking? Let's come out into boat, which is advanced, so you can stay right here if you want. Otherwise, you're going to lift the legs in Navasana. My abs are already shaking, now they're super shaking. Can you lower the legs down and lift back up? If not, bend your knees and tap down and lift up. Tap down and lift up. 3, 2, last one. Place the feet down. Now pull the belly button in, round the spine, and lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Stretch your arms overhead, stretch your legs down below. Draw the right knee into the body, give yourself a hug. Roll the right ankle. And bring the left knee in. Roll the left ankle. Bring both knees in. Give yourself a rock to massage your low back. Drop both knees down to one side. Look over the opposite shoulder. Breathing into this. Again, taking as deep a breath as you can, holding it for a moment before releasing it. Kumbhaka, it's called in Sanskrit. It's that holding of the breath, retention of air, locking it in. Rolling through center, over to the other side. Head looks over the other shoulder. 3 deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And then come back to center. One of the things I love about the more vigorous practice is that, again, aside from the muscle, physical kind of benefits you're getting, it's really detoxifying because you're sweating out, so keep yourself really hydrated, and it's letting your body kind of rid toxins that way. And also when we're breathing like that, as long as you're not panting and making shallow breaths, this is why I want you to pause and reconnect with that breath, because when you're taking deep inhales and long exhales, you're also cleansing yourself that way. You're also detoxing your body that way. So I find it quite good. And while you're exhaling, also just let go of any negative emotions, any negative thoughts. Detox your mental and emotional state too. And let's just come to our Savasana. So extending those legs down below you. Open up the legs just so they're not touching. Roll the shoulders down and away so you're really feeling openness through your chest and shoulders. Palms up, chin slightly towards chest. And again, if it helps, take a deep inhale, open the mouth, and just sigh it out. And maybe one more time. And release into your relaxation, into your Savasana. Every exhale, allow yourself to relax a bit more deeply. If any thoughts enter into your mind, notice them, and then let them go. Just allow your eyes to focus on the backs of your eyelids. Try to relax your face as you exhale. Let go of any tension you might be holding in your jaw, in your cheeks, in your forehead, and let it go. Watch your breath. As you inhale, imagine you can see it. Breathing all the way through your body, and then gently exhale. Watch it leave. Allow the breath to begin to re-energize you. Every breath drawing in oxygen, which recharges your blood, every blood cell. And that blood is delivered to your organs, to your muscles, to your brain, to your joints, to your bones, every part of your body. That's why the relaxation, the breathing, the Savasana is so important. It gives your body time to recover while in a wakeful state. And wiggle the fingers and toes and roll the wrists and ankles. Roll the head from side to side. Draw your knees towards you and roll over to one side. Take a moment to pause there. Give yourself a little hug. Thank yourself. Reconnect with your intention. And then press yourself up to a sit as we started the class. Spine long and tall. Hands resting in the lap. Take a moment just to breathe here. Take a deep inhale, extend the arms up overhead and press the palms together. Exhale, bring them down to your heart. I'm grateful to each of you for taking the time to share your energy and your practice with me. Namaste.